An idea starts calm and easy in my head, and the reality always turns complicated very quickly. I'm wrapping up a garden project, and there's a few more things I need to get done. In this video, I'll be organizing an outdoor shed, repairing a fence, building a garden gate, and sharing an update on how things are growing 2 months into my raised garden bed planting. Come along with me as I tackle what's left on my to-do list, and maybe you can find inspiration to get after those annoying little things on your list too. Let's start with the shed. It doesn't look that bad, but this thing has slowly turned into a dumping ground for tools, random wood, and scraps from projects I keep telling myself I'll use someday. So today, it's getting a reset.
I don't normally sit and do this talk to camera, but you'd think this shed would be a lot sturdier than it is. So here's the plan. I'm gonna organize all my garden stuff in here. Eventually, I'd love to put a waterproof floor, add a window somewhere. I'm gonna use this as a potting shed / garage storage. Let's do it. Not safe. Maybe I put garden tool storage here. Sometimes. Now I can do. See, that's better, right? Shelf.
Next up, lighting. I'm adding motion sensor lights to the back 2 corners of the yard, one near the chicken coop and the other by the garden. The coops had some nighttime visitors lately. Mostly our neighbor's cat lurks over the fence. He's gotten way too close to the chickens before, and of course my dog can't resist getting involved. The motion sensor lights should help keep both of them in check without me having to run out there during the night. The garden is another story. Something's been digging around, and after some investigation, I'm pretty sure it's a possum. So I mounted the second light and some additional lighting facing over the beds where I know it likes to dig. Let's take care of this fence. This post has been hanging on just enough to make me pretend not to notice for years. It's actually only being held up by the water line. And I think it's time to stop ignoring this problem. This time around, I wanted to build something that's going to last. So after some very quick demo, I started by pouring cement footers and setting metal post brackets. That'll keep the wood off the ground and hopefully stop the rot that wrecked the last one. I cut 2 3-foot pressure-treated posts and secured them with outdoor screws. Then I attached the wire fencing using staples to hold it in place. Since this side of the fence is in the sight line of most of our backyard, I wanted to make it disappear by adding greenery. I planted honeysuckle and blackberry vines at the base. Once they start growing through the wire, they'll add some green, privacy, and eventually hide all the wire. In Southern California, we have a pretty big gopher problem, so I made a makeshift gopher basket to try to minimize any damage they might cause. Give it a season or two and you won't even be able to see any of this wire. This is where we started 2 months ago. When I originally started the garden project, everything was overgrown. I cleared it out, got some plants. I planted everything really small. I separated things out. Keep an eye on that top left corner of the garden bed. It's just a tiny little cucumber plant, and this is what it looks like today. The most satisfying things to see grow are definitely cucumbers. The peppers are looking really good. I've planted some things from seed since the original video. These bush beans. I put in a squash plant and some more pepper plants. There's some zinnia flowers that I planted. The basil everywhere is thriving. I'm feeling really proud of myself. I come out here every morning and water the plants. Check for weeds. Look at growth. See if there's anything I can harvest. This morning I'm getting cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, some basil. I do some pruning. I take off these large leaves off the squash, deadhead marigold flowers to encourage more blooms. There's something really calming about tending to a garden, checking in each day, watching things grow. It's slow, steady work, but it's also incredibly rewarding. Seeing all your hard work and effort turned into something alive, something you can enjoy both in the garden and later in the kitchen. It just feels good. Last on the list, build a garden gate, but it didn't start here. This gate used to look like this. It didn't open and was basically just termite dust. Once I demoed it, I was left with a 4-foot opening, which looks great, but doesn't keep the chickens out or my dog from digging at gopher holes. So I've been propping up this random panel and need a longer term fix. I've built a gate before, but it was for safety and security, so the stakes felt higher. It helped me to take the pressure off of this build. I built the frame of the gate using the 2x4s that I removed from the shed. And some 1x2s. It took a little bit of time for me to make sure this was square. I had to eventually go back once I started installing the boards. I noticed it wasn't square, so I had to trim off a piece from each side. I wasn't really worried about this being perfect. I just needed to be able to open and close and keep out when I need to stay out. I had a rough idea of what I wanted this to look like, so before I started, I laid out all my cuts and messed around with spacing and the pattern before I actually nailed the boards down. This is low quality wood, not meant for outdoors, so I know I'll need to go back and stain and seal or paint it eventually. To make this pattern, I'm alternating each board at differing heights above the frame. I'm securing the first piece at 6.5 inches above the frame and using a 1x2 spacer, then placing the next piece 4 inches above the frame and continuing. For the bottom part of the gate, I measured how tall I wanted it to be, 36 inches from the highest point, and then I drew a straight line along the bottom board. I then took my circular saw and made a cut along that line. So now I'm left with a straight edge at the bottom of the gate, and the pattern only exists at the top. I had to ask for help to hang the gate onto the hinges, and I'm using the original hardware to keep the gate closed. Thanks for hanging out with me as I tackle some long overdue backyard projects. From repairing the fence and adding a bit of extra protection with motion sensor lights, to planting honeysuckle and giving the garden some extra love, it feels good to finally cross these off the list. If you like this video or got some ideas of your own projects, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I've got more things up my sleeve and probably more things to come, so stick around for that. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.